A video game leaker has been exposed as popular YouTuber Dan Allen Gaming. Now, I've not read this article yet, but I think this is actually going to be pretty interesting, mainly due to it's kind of odd that a popular YouTuber would end up basically exposing or basically releasing leaks of games. Like, that doesn't really seem like a cool thing to do. So, a Twitter account named The Real Insider that posted leaks for upcoming game releases turned out to be a sock puppet account belonging to YouTuber Dan Allen Gaming, a content creator with nearly 200,000 followers. First spotted by The Gamer, the story that follows requires a peek behind the curtain of games media. So, content creators and press, like the person who wrote this article, and I guess me for commentating on this article, often gain early access to games coming out in the near future, or announcements scheduled to be made. This allows the media time to get articles ready and get coverage flowing, which in turn helps boost awareness and potentially sales of the game. This sort of relationship relies on one thing primarily: an NDA, or non disclosure agreement, which is also called an embargo. NDAs are typically for repeated access to alphas or betas, where media are invited to test the game out and give feedback, but also can be used for more immediate coverage of an upcoming game or announcement. Now, this allows the developer to control when information is released while still giving media time to prepare their content. Dan Allen Gaming, posing as the real insider, took that early access privilege and started leaking information well in advance of embargo and NDA break dates. Earlier this month, he started going viral on the Real Insider for breaking coverage of the Assassin's Creed games well before the official announcements were made. He got caught, however, when he slipped up and posted a response to the Real Insider using his Dan Allen Gaming Twitter account. The tweet had been deleted, but Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier did some digging and found that often the two accounts would tweet nearly simultaneously about the same topics, along with using similar posting patterns. Admitting to it all, Dan Allen apologized via Twitter and shortly afterwards disabled both accounts. His YouTube, however, remains active at time of publishing, and the ramifications of breaking NDAs are quite serious. At best, content creators and media that breaks NDAs simply lose access to future coverage, and at worst, can be sued by companies for breaking embargo dates. And here's the thing that people need to understand, right? This may not necessarily seem like a big deal, but when you are a public figure and you get caught releasing intimate details of companies, of their private stuff, they are going to go after you. And it's not going to be cheap. Now, I don't know how much money uh, this YouTuber is making, right? I'm guessing he's probably actually making an okay amount of money, right? With, I mean, like 200,000 subscribers, he's probably doing okay, right? And I'm guessing he probably has family-friendly content ish, right? But it's just not a good thing, right? Because this is basically a situation where, one, you got lucky enough to be given, hush hush material of like new upcoming releases that you could test out, but not only just test out, right? it could give you ideas. Like, it could basically give you an advantage over other content creators because as soon as they let you, which will be before other people, you could end up already having videos made about these games or gameplay about these games. So, a good example of this and what I mean is that if he played his cards right and didn't do something stupid like leak the stuff, he could easily, well, maybe not easily, but he could at the very least attempted to be somewhat similar to what the Rad Brad does, which the Rad Brad is one of the largest video game creators on YouTube that does playthroughs or walkthroughs. And he gets games typically before other people ever get them, right? And his YouTube channel gets like 40 million views a month, 50 million views a month, 30 million views a month. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue every single month playing video games. So Dan Allen Gaming basically ruined his shot of any gaming company ever wanting to work with him again in the future. Because they're going to be like, this dude's just going to leak all this stuff before we let him do it. Like, he basically ruined a really good pipeline of pretty awesome stuff from gaming companies for what? Twitter clout? You're doing all this for Twitter? Like, I just think it's like beyond stupid because you could really have utilized what you were given to your advantage. You could have really done something awesome for your fans as well, for the people who watch your stuff as well. Like, but because you wanted Twitter clout for leaking behind the scenes stuff, now no gaming company is going to trust you. Your fans may not even like it either because well, then they're going to be like, well, now are you just going to like release any private information about anything, right? Because if you're a leaker, where people, or I guess I should say companies trusted you, entities trusted you, can your fans trust you, right? Because you obviously showed that you're not really a trustworthy individual when you had to basically go and sign contracts to be able to be given this information. Like, I just think it's a beyond stupid thing to do, right? Like, you basically ruined a pretty awesome, potentially gaming, like a long-term gaming career, right? I mean, you can still probably still do some sort of gaming stuff, but you're not going to get the type of access that other people your size are able to get, which is sad, right? Like, you single-handedly ruined your shots at that. Like, it's just a sad thing to see, honestly. If you want to learn how to get out of debt, master your money, go to 40unbox.com or down below. Feel free to give your thoughts about this. Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with people like leaking stuff if they were not part of signing like an NDA or that like they were not in some sort of contract where legally they should not have been doing that. If they basically was given information by someone, okay, go ahead and leak it. But if you were basically in contracts with companies, with individuals, and then you leak the information, even though you were in legally binding contracts that you agreed to sign for that access, that's like a really scummy thing to do.